Pace Morby buys houses without cash or credit, utilizing a little thing known as creative financing. And last week, I actually had the opportunity to hear him speak about this on stage. I was attending an event in Las Vegas, Nevada, hosted by wealthy investor and Ryan Pineda for real estate investors, and he never even talked about real estate. He said he's utilized these acquisition strategies throughout his life for not just real estate, but for vehicles, equipment, and tons of different stuff. So Pace said that he explained creative financing to this photographer using real estate, and he just wasn't getting it. So he said, okay, I'm going to be explaining this to you in a way that relates directly to your photography business. And he asked him, what would take your photography business to the next level? And the photographer said, well, if I could get this equipment bundle with all these lenses and all of these different features and things, that would probably do it. That would be fantastic. The only problem is it's too expensive to buy it. And he said, well, let's see if we can find a deal on Craigslist. So they hopped on and they found the exact equipment bundle that he was looking for with all the different pieces on Craigslist for $3,500. And he said, how about now? And he said, that's fantastic. I would totally buy it. Only problem is I don't have $3,500 to buy that right now either. And Pace said, well, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how it is that you can utilize creative financing for your photography business right now. And he called the listing and the seller picked up. And he asked the seller, I see you've got this for sale. Is it still available? And he said, yes, it is. And he said, do you have any offers on the table? And he said, I've got several, but I'm not willing to entertain any of them because they're all lowball cash offers. And he said, okay, well, what I'd like to do is offer you for your photography equipment $4,000. And there was silence. The seller was silent for about 7 seconds, he said, until he finally said, wait a second. You want to pay me $4,000 for my $3,500 equipment bundle? And Pace said, yes, under these conditions. I want to negotiate the terms of which I'm going to be buying them. And he said, what I'd like to do is I'd like to take it today and then book some photography appointments so that way I could earn money to then pay monthly payments until I paid off the equipment at a full amount of $4,000. And the seller said, yeah, I think that would be okay. I would be happy with that because I don't need it right now. It's just sitting there not doing anything and I haven't gotten any good offers on it. So let's do it. And he bought the equipment and the photographer was astonished. And he said, that is creative financing. I want to buy it. I can get a hold of it. I can use it right now. And I can pay for it over time. That is one of the strategies of creative financing. Now, next, Pace posed the question to the entire room and said, did I overpay for the camera equipment bundle? They were asking $3,500 and I paid $4,000. And he said, a lot of people might say yes, but I would say no. And here's why. Because it's not about the asking price. It's about the value that the item can bring. And he said, over the course of a certain period of time, we could easily have that photographer book several appointments that are going to be worth more than $4,000. And he said, and then once it's paid off, all of the appointments that are booked, it's all profit as we're using that equipment. So he said, in my personal opinion, no. I didn't overpay for it because the value was so much higher. And he said recently, he purchased a piece of real estate for $3 million and the seller was asking $2.5 million. Now, did he overpay by $500,000 for this piece of real estate? Some people would probably say yes, but he said he would say no. And here's why, because he negotiated the terms of the agreement. He told the seller, I want you to seller finance over a course of 50 years for the loan agreement. He said, in addition to that, I don't want to come out of pocket at all. 0 down payment. I want to own it day one. And he said, I also want a 4% interest rate. If I go to the bank, it's going to be 7, 8%. I'll overpay by $500,000 if you bring down that interest rate. And he said the seller agreed. And he said, here's why. The seller thought in his mind, well, I'm already pretty well off as it is. I don't need all of this money up front. And if I do get it up front, I'm going to have to pay a pretty hefty capital gains tax. Also, over the course of the next 50 years, getting that cash flow every month is going to be pretty nice. And Pace was pretty happy as well because he said he was confident that he was going to be able to rent out or Airbnb that piece of property and make well in excess of the payments that he was going to be doing for the next 50 years. And he didn't have to come out of pocket for anything or check his credit. He said that was a win-win situation utilizing creative financing. And he said he recently utilized creative financing for one of the largest deals that he's ever done. He purchased a $400 408 unit apartment complex in North Carolina utilizing creative finance. So he's doing this around the nation at various different levels, but being willing to pay at price or even over asking price doesn't make you think about changing your acquisition strategies. Let me know in the comments down below, you guys, but I know I'm really starting to study this as well, so that way I can see about how I can utilize this in my own real estate business. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget, smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This